Welcome to the Inspiring Coaches Show, the podcast devoted to inspiring coaches to bring their professional dreams to life by revealing the knowledge, insights, and best practices of other inspiring coaches. I'm your host, Jen Anderson, PCC, early settler of the coaching industry, lover of all things coaching, and what coaching is doing to make the world a better place. Hello out there. Some of you know I love to start every coaching session by asking my client what we can celebrate from their world. And no matter how many times I ask them this, it seems like every session it takes them by surprise. And the reason I think that is because typically people are walking around in the world thinking about maybe what's not something they can celebrate about their life. And so I find that this question helps them instantly shift. And hey, isn't that the whole point of coaching, to create those instant shifts? All right. So we're going to start each of these podcasts by sharing some of your coaching celebrations. So maybe 2 or 3 of them, we'll see how it goes. But for right now, I would love for you to send me one of your coaching celebrations, something from your practice that you want to acknowledge is going really well. So if you could just email me, Jennifer@coachingoutofthebox.com, 2 or 3 sentences, paying attention to confidentiality, of course, but just one thing that you'd love to celebrate about the coaching that you're doing in the world. But for today, I get to choose our celebration. And so I am definitely choosing to celebrate that this is our first episode of the Inspiring Coaches Show. And I'm really excited to be here. It's been months in the planning, a lot of hard work from the Coaching Out of the Box, our sponsor, their staff, especially Jeanette. So a little shout out to Jeanette for all of her hard work. For this week, our inaugural episode, we're going to have the inimitable Coach Rosa Edinga. And today, Rosa will be inspiring you to begin coaching with what she says is your whole self. Rosa says that showing up as her whole, sometimes messy self in coaching gives others permission to do the same. It's kind of her jam. So to get you centered on our topic, Rosa has provided a quote, one that she's quite well known for in her classes. The world needs you to show up as your whole self, nothing more and definitely nothing less. So while you're pondering that little bit of wisdom, we'll take a quick break to hear from our inspiring sponsor. And when we come back, we'll get to talk about this with Coach Rosa. Back in a jiff.
Hello, on behalf of all of us here at the International Coaching Group, also known as Coaching Out of the Box, we'd like to thank you for joining us today. We hope you are enjoying the Inspiring Coaches Show. This podcast is just one example of the many resources and tools we offer in support of coaching journeys or careers all over the world. If you are looking for an ICF accredited coach educator, please look no further.
All right, well, welcome back. And as a quick reminder, today we're talking about coaching with your whole self with our guest, Rosa Edinga. And for those of you that haven't met Rosa, she is a mom, partner, daughter, and Soul Tribe member, and has spent over a decade coaching leaders and business owners to own their magic and their goals. She's also a coach's coach, educating and mentoring aspiring coaches to develop and hone their own skills, presence, and practice. Now, normally I wouldn't necessarily spend this much time on an introduction, but I think this one speaks to the very heart of our topic today, because Rosa is a believer and encourager of magic, the magic that lives, sometimes hidden, in each of us. The magic that happens when we step into our personal power, the magic that happens when we share ourselves, our dreams, our secret sauce, our whole authentic selves with others. So welcome, Rosa.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. This is fun.
Oh,
And we
it
haven't even
is
started.
fun. I know. Well, we kind of started because
We
let's
kind of
face it,
started, but I
we've
love
been
it.
talking for a little bit
Love
here,
it.
but now it's official and formal, and we probably should behave at least a little bit.
At least a little bit.
At least
Just
a
a little
little
bit.
bit. We'll see. But it's us. So, and although we're getting to know one another, I think we kind of know one another
We
in
do. I
in a
love
certain
it.
fun
Love
way.
it.
All right. So coaching with your whole self, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what does that really mean, Rosa?
Do you know how I describe it? It's sometimes as coaches, we will, or most of the time as coaches, we look at who comes to the chair and who we get to create space with. And we say to them, look, come and bring anything, whatever's top of mind for you. Like, what do I need to know about you? And what I love to be as a reminder of is, or to remind coaches, remind people, it's in order to create that space, we sort of had to do that too. We come to the chairs of a coach. And I always say we chair, like we could stand, but we always come to the conversation as a coach with everything that we are, our experience, our experiences in life, our beliefs, our values, our humor. And in order to create a space for those that we support and those that we coach to be themselves and bring whatever and get to the core and have those really deep, not deep, changing conversations that get under the surface, we as coaches need to be able and be comfortable with coming as our whole selves. Like, not, it's just we bring everything that we are. And what's beautiful, and I've seen not only in my own practice, but with those that I work with, whether it's coaches, whether it's in leadership, what like across the gamut, is when we start doing that, that's when real connection happens. Because people can say, oh, you like this, you like, hey, you're this, you understand where I'm coming from, you understand nuances of what I'm saying. And that creates the connection, that just creates the foundation for safety, and it allows for real conversations, which I know we've had the conversation before. There's not a lot of spaces in the world for real conversations anymore. People don't always feel safe to share. So
Or Rosa, ever,
ever.
sometimes.
And I get why. Like, for some people, it's never been safe to share. For some,
Right.
they've shared and something's happened. So that's, I think, one of the just magical places of coaching is it's our role to create that safety. And for us to do that and really accept the person and really be like, I'm going to meet you where you are, is for us to be like, here's who I am. And at that point, it's, you know what? That makes us more relatable. And I know for me, I don't have to remember which one of me is coming to the conversation because it's me. So it's not like, oh, I don't say this as a coach. I know, when we go through our facilitating our programs or talking to mentees, it's like, well, I'm trying to figure out who I am as a coach and how I show up and what a coach is supposed to look like. And I'm like, um, it's like, what do you want it to look like? Who do you want it to be? And how does all of your experiences, everything that led you to be a coach, everything that's led you to grow a practice, how is that, coming into the conversation? How do you want it to? So long-winded answer to short question.
Hey, I love long-winded answers. I'm a coach. I love to listen any chance I get, right?
Right?
Plus, you're saying good things. So I heard a couple of different things that I'm really kind of curious about. So one is this whole thing about what it looks like, how you look as a coach. And that's, I'm taking it a little bit literally here because it's something that's been on my mind. And I know a lot of coaches have talked to me about over the last few years. Prior to the pandemic, most coaching was done either over the phone or occasionally in person. The vast majority of it was done over the phone. Since the pandemic and the shutdown and Zoom, everybody had to become Zoom worthy. That's really changed. And so now the standard, I think, it's just completely flipped. Almost everything seems to be done now over one of the platforms. So it brings into this question of how things look. So I'm thinking about even what we were talking about earlier, what does your background look like on Zoom? What are you wearing on Zoom? What are you, all of these things that are kind of coming into picture, into the picture literally of who we are as coaches. And so that's the literal thing about
Mhm.
it. But when I stop to say, okay, what am I really asking here? I'm asking you, how do we find our truth
Mm.
of who our whole self is so we can bring it?
Big question,
Mhm.
beautiful question.
Thank you.
And I think part of that, or I'm not sure if it's part of that or where it starts. This is for me, I came to coaching and I said, look, I can't ask anyone to do anything, in a coachy chair that I'm not willing to do. That's part of the integrity I bring. So when it was like, okay, I'm going to start telling people and carrying the flag for whole self because it really is, it's what speaks to me. The first place was like, okay, Rosa, who are you? And it was the first step of that was, let's do some introspection. Let's go in. And I do this with my clients who go there. It's like, okay, like, who are you? And it could be free flow. It's a free flow exercise
Mhm.
of like, what do you love? And I get them to make lists of what they love. And it can be everything from the smell of cinnamon to pad thai and just a collection. And what that starts is it starts to uncover, okay, things that I like. Why do I like them? Well, I like the smell of cinnamon because it reminds me of fall and I love fall. So that's the first process of start to uncover, wait a second, what is it that you love? And then, look at what brought you here. And I'm not suggesting, because for some people, I do want to, for some people, it's like, oh, it's trauma inducing or at least pushes those buttons.
Mhm.
And what I say is, you don't have to share this with me. This is your process. And I think we all go through a process, or we should. Ew, that word, should,
Oops.
eek.
Oops.
It's valuable to just be like, how did we come to be? How, like, who are who are our family? For me, I'm an immigrant. I'm a child of immigrants. I came over when I was 2.
Oh.
Part of, that shaped my world. It shaped my worldview. It shaped my values. I'm a mom. That shapes everything.
Mhm.
So it's looking at those places, and sometimes that comes from looking at roles and to deepen down. Okay, like I say, I'm a daughter of aging parents and a mom. Well, that shapes my worldview because I'm in that
Mhm.
middle place. Um, I've been in corporate, I've been external, I've been internal. Well, that shapes my approach to coaching. So it's just, for me, that first step is having someone in that place of light to be like, what
Mm.
do you love? And then how did you come to, like, let's talk about your accomplishments. How did you come to be? And have them start writing a story of them. And it can be, people like, you get them to do, like, that's a big exercise. And it's like, yeah, it can be. But what it's intended to do, or what my intention around that is, let's honor all the things that you bring to the conversation. Your 10 years in corporate, the fact that you are like the second child, that I like 90s R&B, all of that makes me who I am. And knowing that, again, I don't have to share all of that. This isn't about, I need to be transparent and I need to share all the information about me. That's not what I'm saying. That's the first place. Again, whether it's, coaching, leader, all of it, it starts with you. So learn what, honor that journey, change some of those stories if you need to. Um,
Mm.
but that then allows, for me, it's like that's that place where people start getting really intentional about, what's my coaching presence? When we ask them to do that, what's their coaching presence?
Mhm.
Who do you want to be as a coach? Well, I want to be this kind of coach, or I want to approach it this way. But if you don't know yourself, how can you even articulate that to someone who wants to work with you? So that's the articulation, sure, is one place, but it's also just being, then I'm comfortable. Like you said something about being Zoom worthy. And yeah, some people will look at my background and be like, wow, you put a lot of thought into that. That's cool. And you know that I love books just because, and that's part of it. There's also, if you look closely, there's probably a Tibetan Buddha. There's,
Yes.
there's a Lego pyramid. That's part of who I am. That's that part of that divine, mystical, kind of spiritual side of me.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. It's this, what do I like?
So
And then
owning
honor
that
you like it.
truth about those things. Get
It's
into your
owning it. I love
truth.
that.
Yeah.
And it can change. Like, that's the other thing of like, okay, if it's static, but you evolve. So if you say,
Oh, that was the word I was thinking. Evolving versus changing, right?
that's part of it.
People are scared about the whole concept of change, but when you look at what's really happening, it's like, it's just becoming something else. It's more different. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So something popped to mind as you were kind of talking, answering my question, which was, I was trying to think of an analogy for what you said, that you don't have to say, oh, and by the way, I'm a Star Wars aficionado, but so I was thinking about, if you think about a house and how beneath all of the beautiful, plaster walls and the gorgeous, marble fireplace and whatever those dressings are, underneath all of that are 2x4s. And I don't even know, actually. But I'm guessing it might be 2x4s. So those are there and they're holding the whole structure in place. We can't see them, but we know they're there in some way, right? That's what helps the other things have their shape, have their form, have their color. And so that's what you made me think of. So I had to share that with you.
That. I love. And I want to acknowledge that. Oh my gosh, we're such coaches. I love it. But I want to acknowledge that, because even, for in that whole South place, it's when you think of something, you're like, look, like an analogy came to mind and I need to share it.
Yeah.
And that's what I say. Like, yes, as I'm talking to clients, I'm like, share it. Because once you're kind of comfortable in who you are, things that come up that you need to voice it.
Yes.
Right. It just enables that. So I want to acknowledge that, because again, it's that place of being grounded in who you are. Having a solid 2x4 foundation.
2x4s. I'm sure
Whatever
it's 2x4s.
We'll figure it out after. We'll Google it.
Right. Yeah. Somebody out there knows and will write to me probably and tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. It's happened before. It'll happen again. That is a part of bringing my whole self. So Rosa, I know that we probably only have a couple minutes left, but I have so many questions. First, what do you think stops coaches from bringing their whole selves?
First thing that pops to mind, that I hear a lot, you likely heard a lot as well, is the perception that there is a perfect coach, perfect way to coach. So I have to meet some standard that I've created in my own mind. And even just talking about whole self and watching others coach and realizing, well, there's different styles. There are different people, there are different approaches. And to me, it's that when I have something in mind that I need to be this to be a coach, and I don't get, I have to pretend to be that. So I have to hide who I am. I can't be perfect. Like it's, saying that isn't professional, because I have this image in my head of what a perfect coach should look like. And I want to wear a t-shirt that says there is no perfect coach, just like there's no perfect question. Please stop searching for it.
Doesn't exist. Waste of time. Use your energy wisely.
Right.
Okay.
It's that place. It really is. It's that, I think that's what stops people. It's, if I were to say in that coaching space, it's, if I do that, I'm not being a good coach, a real coach. And I think if you want to kind of even broaden it out, it's that place of, we're afraid sometimes of like, oh, what if people know that, I may swear? I won't on this podcast. I promised you. I promised you, Jen.
Thanks. I'm very delicate. So thank you for honoring that about me.
But knowing that about, it's, oh my gosh, if people know that, they'll think I'm unprofessional. And again, it's the work that I've done and I continue to do, to be like, it's just who I am. And I'm okay with you knowing that. And I'm okay with you reacting however you react. So as humans, I think, like, if you wanted to take it out that way, we have this, place of like, I don't want you to really see me. But when you do, and that's again, this magical place of coaching, when you do see me and sit in that conversation, magic happens.
magic happens. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking for magic. I
Right?
told you that. We have a high standard for magic in this show,
Let's
for
do
sure. Okay, so Rosa, I have an important question, and I know I gave you this question ahead of time. So hopefully you're gonna wing it anyway. But
I'm
you
gonna
wanted
wing it
something.
anyway.
Yeah. All right. So what's one piece of wisdom that you'd most like to leave us with as we rise to the challenge of coaching with our whole self?
Is that, I don't even know if it's compassion, permission. Permission. It's that permission to show up as you and make it you, make coaching you. And this is the language you use. This is, the style that you use. I call it secret sauce. Everyone has one and it's different. And that is what makes it wonderful, because we all coach different people. Like there are different humans that come and sit in the chair. So if we were all the same, why would we be doing this? There's no difference. So it's that place of, the wisdom is own it, own the secret sauce, own it, own it. You are different, and that is a good thing. And that is valuable, and it actually serves the clients that choose you. It serves them better when you own that you're different, because so are they.
Yeah. I have to tell you, that's what transformed my coaching, really, was owning it, just owning it, right? Everything, the whole thing. And it's exactly what you're talking about. Okay. So Rosa, how can coaches find you if they want to continue this conversation with you?
I love conversation. Jen, like we're coaches, we love conversation. So for me, it's find me on LinkedIn, Rosa Edinga, easy. Everything's easy because I make it easy. I can't remember. Or Instagram or Facebook, or make it easy, my website. They'll have like a little contact me at rosaedinga.com. Make it easy for everybody. Like, let's just make it easy.
Make it really easy.
I love that. Make it easy, make it flow.
You also have a coaching out of the box.
Oh, yes,
email
I do.
as well, right? You could share that too. Just crazy thought there, but is it by any chance Rosa at coachingoutofthebox.com?
It is. I'm the only Rosa at Coaching Out of the Box. I know, again, it's one of those things that I own. I'm the only Rosa at this point. So yes, it's Rosa at coachingoutofthebox.com. I love conversations. So reach out, questions, talk. Yeah, I just love them because I like the humans.
Yes. And you are big fun. I have to say, you are big fun.
Thanks.
All right. So you brought the magic, and I'm not surprised. And we're at some point going to get into a deeper conversation about the magic.
Oh, yes, we are.
Because I think that's important. Yes. Good. Yes, I'm glad. That was my subtle invitation to come back. Right. It's so subtle.
I love
Definitely
it.
known
Don't
for
be
my
subtle.
subtlety.
Why own that you're not subtle? I love it.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
This was a pleasure.
Seriously, you definitely brought your whole self to this conversation. I didn't expect anything other than that. And you are truly delightful. I'm so glad you're a coach in the world.
Me too. I'll own that with everything. It's good. The world needs more of people who show up as them to support others to show up as them. So I am honored to do the job. But thank you for having me. I love that I'm the first one.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting. Good. Good. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break here. When we come back, I'm going to share some news from the world of coaching and also tell you all how you can apply to be a guest on the Inspiring Coaches show.
Do it.
Yeah, do it. Yeah. All right, we'll be right back.
If you're ready to turn your coaching dreams into a reality, please reach out to one of our enrollment coaches today and ask about our fast track to ICF credential.
Welcome back. And I promised to share with you some news from the world of coaching. The International Coaching Federation has announced the ICW International Coaching Week, which is a week-long global celebration of the power and impact of professional coaching. During this celebration, the ICW encourages individuals and organizations all over the world to understand, explore, test, and discover the possibilities coaching provides. You are welcome to join a variety of ICW events, webinars, conferences, educational workshops, panel discussions, public coaching demonstrations, pro bono sessions, and many more activities that are organized by ICF chapters and members in their local communities. ICW is scheduled for May 8th to the 14th, And for more information, you can visit icf-events.org. And one more announcement, the Inspiring Coaches Show is looking for inspiring guests. If you are interested in joining me on the show, please send an email to me, Jennifer, at coachingoutofthebox.com, and include your topic idea and a short blurb on how you think it will inspire coaches to bring their professional dreams to life. Well, as we all know, inspired coaches believe in expressing gratitude. So thank you to today's inspiring guest coach, Rosa Edinga, PCC. Thank you to our sponsor, Coaching Out of the Box. And most of all, thank you to you, dear coach, for committing yourself to constantly seeking inspiration to bring your coaching dreams to life. Until next time, I'm Jen Anderson, and this was the Inspiring Coaching Show.